Welcome to episode 9, Nueve of the Zip Code Bros. I'm your host, Michael John Gallagher II. With me, as always, is Ben Jones, Adam Jefferson, and unfortunately, my man moving by himself, Jimmy Sorensen. Today's episode is about the Undertaker, the Undertaker, the Undertaker. So I figure what we do for a change is we'll do some questions first, and then we'll do a kind of mental check-in. How does this sound?
Sounds like a good idea.
All right, so Ben, why don't we get started? And so the reason why we're doing some questions first is Mr. Jimmy is moving by himself, so we don't want to take up too much of his time. So, Jimmy,
For the record, we are recording at 10 o'clock at night
on Friday, Cinco de Mayo.
5, 5. Give us that star rating.
The Undertaker. And
right now, I feel like I'm going one-on-one with the Undertaker.
With the Undertaker.
With the Undertaker.
As Bobby teased me, the Undertaker. The Undertaker. The way I say the Undertaker with my Long Island accent. The Undertaker. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is it? He's like, the Undertaker? I'm like, yeah, the Undertaker. That's what I said.
Because he can't say his R's right, and he's from that thick New Jersey accent.
Jersey,
whoa,
like that.
That's all right, Gallagher. Like I'll say Undertaker in an Aussie accent, and then that'll make it seem yours is better.
Hey, there you go. Nothing's better than your accent, brother. Trust me.
Please.
No one's as cool as Teddy Long for saying Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
All right. Should we do some questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions.
Yeah. Please do.
All right. First up, Devin Dowling from the Kickout Crew. What's your favorite Undertaker versus Big Show match? Now, to me, that sounds like a trick question because has Big Show ever had a good match?
Fuck you.
Why?
Okay.
Why with the profanity?
I'm sorry. I tripped over my shoelace.
Okay.
I walk outside and tripped over I almost bipped it into the trash bin.
I see.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only Big Show Undertaker match I really remember is the WrestleMania one at against him and A-Train. So and I don't remember it being good. So,
he had a good match with Big Show in 2008 at Survivor Series, I believe. Well, actually, no. I think the Punjabi prison match.
As I say, that's the only Undertaker Big Show match I remember was the Punjabi prison match. And
they had when Big Show got introduced into that love triangle thing with Vicky in 2008. Remember that? Like when Taker's hand, or was that 7 or 8? Anywho.
Oh, you're the one that you're the one with the numbers.
No, I'm trying to remember. It was an Unforgiven. Both years he comes back at it Unforgiven, and no. Oh wait, because Taker comes back. I was thinking of the hand. The hand. He comes out of the sand, he's like the Mojave Desert or Death Valley. But
I like it.
But he had a feud with Big Show and leading into Survivor Series when Big Show knocked out Undertaker after double crossing him at Unforgiven 2008.
All right, cool.
All right. Next one from Adam's mate Sean Kennedy. So besides Edge and Brock, was there anyone else who should have broken the streak?
Well,
I think Orton should have broke the streak.
Okay, Orton's a good one. I don't think Edge should have been put in the conversation to break the streak. It doesn't seem to really the whole ultimate opportunist rated R superstar. So it just didn't really, for me, it doesn't click that he should be one of the ones to be considered. Brock, obviously. And
Brock shouldn't. I mean, yes and no. It's-
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Bray or Roman.
What about you, Ben? I'd
Yeah,
love
but-
to hear your thoughts, Ben.
Well, I wasn't really watching at the time, but looking back now, I was thinking, how good would it have been if the Taker streak was still intact, and then you've got Roman, who's unstoppable now as a title holder, and then you have Taker versus Roman at WrestleMania for the title, but Taker's streak is also on the line. Like, that could have been huge
I agree with you. I agree with you.
if that worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, next question from Carl Bramblett. After the streak was broken, should he have still lost again to Roman at Mania?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 It
Well,
still means something to beat the Undertaker, regardless if his streak is intact or not.
hmm But then again, Taker's gone on record saying he probably shouldn't have been at that Mania.
Right.
But-
That's what I was about to bring up.
Other than that, he if it wouldn't have been that year's Mania, whenever they would have fought again, yes,
Okay.
I'd agree.
All right. Up next is Bobby Duncan, and he says
Bobby D.
NWO versus BSK. Who wins? What's the finish? Who goes over?
Oh.
BSK.
BSK.
Hogan takes the fall.
Who gets the pin?
Taker.
Taker?
Take a
Taker
pin too.
pin.
Yeah, BSK. BSK, and I say
Hall.
it's Scott Hall taking the fall. Because Scott always said he looks good on his back.
Kevin never
Yeah,
did jobs
interesting.
much.
All right. Up next from the Kickout crew, Brad Stanton.
Boo.
When
Yay.
should have Undertaker retired? His last match against Brock or someone else, or still going today?
AJ.
I like, I think it should have been a thing that kept going.
Yeah.
He should have retired after AJ, but the streak should have never retired. The streak shouldn't have been broken until Roman.
I agree. Yeah. Brock didn't need that Undertaker streak.
But
He just
Brock
didn't
was-
need it.
Brock was the one picked by Taker himself to break it. And I mean, like, if you're Vince McMahon and Taker comes to you with all he's done for your company and says, "This is what I want to do with the streak," I mean, are you really going to tell him no?
No, but didn't they? He talked about it on his.
It's a conspiracy. It's one of those conspiracy theories. He does not remember anything from 1 o'clock
Yeah.
that day to noon the next or something like that. So that whole day is like just one big blur, one big never happened.
Yeah.
Mentally.
It kind of ties into Amy Vaughan's question, First Lady of the Arn Anderson fan club and co-host of the Pond Water Dave show. So she says, do you think the streak should have been broken? And do you agree with who broke the streak?
I mean, I think we kind of been talking about it. I think we all believe that Brock should not have been the person that break the streak. And I think we kind of all, thought, yeah. I mean, I'll say it again. I think Randy Orton, I think the legend killer gimmick, I think if he would have beat the Undertaker, I think it would have been something that I could see it. I could have bought it. Even if like his dad, and I mean, you can't do BS interference to break the streak. You got to do a clean 1, 2, 3. And I think that RKO could have got him 1, 2, 3.
I would almost agree with Batista the following year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years later.
Possibly.
It was 2 years later from Orton. I was like, because it was 21 when Taker faced him. when Orton faced Taker, and it was WrestleMania 23 when Batista faced Taker for the world title.
I got
Hmm.
the
Is that
list right here, fellas. Yeah.
All right, we'll get to
that-
that soon.
because that Rumble was when Taker won the 2007's Rumble was when he won it, and
Yeah, it was Orton, Henry, and then Batista.
All right, next question. So, first time question asker is Mr. El Karai. So, James
Yes.
Depp.
I saw it. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, thank you, Mr. Al Karai, for sending this in. So, he asks, should he have
Thanks, Mandy.
retired after the streak was broken?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Should the Undertaker have retired after the streak was broken? So, like immediately after that Lesnar match. Because you know what they say, go out, looking at the lights.
Yeah, when Brock broke it, and I guess I'm in the minority here thinking that he should have been the one to break it. When Brock broke it, I did, my knee-jerk reaction was like, oh, he's retiring. Like, that's it. The streak's over. He only comes back to defend it anyway. If you're going to break it, then it seems like he was going to retire. But
who was the match? Who was the opponent the following year after Brock?
Bray.
That was
Bray.
the Bray Wyatt match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So,
and that's what I was getting to is the matches that he had besides the Roman one, after the streak was broken, were still great, memorable. Like, so it's kind of this catch-22 of it's a good send-off if he retires with the streak being broken, but then you miss out on the AJ match, the Bray match, not the Roman match.
That AJ match was awesome.
Oh yeah,
that AJ match was really, really awesome.
Well, Taker. I mean, yeah.
What was the match where Taker left his boots and hat in the ring?
The Roman match.
Roman match at 33.
I think he should have retired after the Roman match.
But he wasn't happy with that performance.
No, well, and again, I'm glad he didn't because we got the AJ match. But my point is, I think if I'm answering the question, no, I don't think he should have retired after that match. I think he should have retired after the Roman match, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Up next, we've got Mike Whitaker. He's got 5 questions for us.
Great.
Yes. So buckle up. All right. If The Undertaker would debut today as a new character, would he get as over as he did?
No.
Depends what the character is.
I think so. Because Undertaker always reinvented. He always reinvented himself to suit the times, right? He went from the American, from the Undertaker guy to the American Badass to the Big Evil to the Dead Man again. So I think Taker would have been a guy who would have found a way to get over. Absolutely.
He would have found a way to get over. I don't think he would have gotten over to the point that he did in his career. And I think that's because of impatience in social media.
I just think guys like that who just become that top echelon of a star. I just think they're going to be a star no matter where they would have been. That's just me. I think a guy like Ric Flair would still be a big star if he came up now. Guy like Hogan still got the charisma. He would just be with the times, right? He would just be with what the times is, and Ric Flair would be with the time is right now. I mean, Ric Flair's still doing it.
That is a good point. I'm probably just being a little pessimistic about certain wrestling fans and
I hear you.
Not let it play.
It's hard to imagine him in any other character because he is the Undertaker.
I still think he could have pulled off this character, though. I mean, it just would have been a character. Yeah, it wouldn't have been as cartoonish. He might have started off as like kind of a guy, like a biker kind of guy, and Undertaker could be his biker nickname. Who knows? Before we get then you get the American Badass. But yeah, I think he would have. I definitely think you would have found a way to get the gimmick over.
No, I do think you're onto something there. Debuts as the American Badass, comes out. He's part of a biker gang. He's known as the Undertaker because he's the guy that carries all the bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good question.
Perfect. Okay, his next one is, do you think his last match with AJ Styles was the right way for him to go out, or should it have been in the ring? And if so, with who?
What do you think, Jimmy?
I missed the question.
All right. Well, we'll
So-
repeat it for you.
Do you think his last match with AJ Styles was the right way for him to go out, or should it have been in the ring, and with who?
Not my call. That's his call.
I know. But
I mean,
what do you think?
I like the AJ Styles concept. It was very different, and I think it's
With there's so many different unique things we've gotten over the years. From Taker, I mean, Taker was in the verse Hell in a Cell. He was in a. We've had the Elimination Chamber. We've had boneyard matches, and furnace room matches, boiler room matches. Thank you.
buried alive.
Buried alive. I mean, I think it's great that we went out with the boneyard match. It was creative. It was fun to watch. Sucks under the circumstances with his family. But I think it was a great way to send him on the shield. That
Not a
man
stupid
bled for us.
question, but that was his last WrestleMania match, right? The AJ match, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I ask a lot of.
All right.
Don't worry, I ask stupid questions. You're fine.
All right.
Next stupid question.
Do you think the Undertaker would have gotten as over if it wasn't for the gimmick of the Undertaker? So it kind of ties in a little bit to what we just discussed.
Yeah, he would have found a way to get there.
Yep. All right. Now, what was your favorite version of the Dead Man Undertaker? So not including the American Badass or Big Evil. And I think, Mike, you had this as one of your talking points as well about favorite era,
Yeah, his favorite era. Yeah.
favorite version. Yeah.
Favorite version of the Dead Man, I would say when he came back with the Johnny Cash song.
Mm.
It felt like an old-timey Western version of like an Undertaker. And he had the bowl cap. He had he had the long trench coat. That's my favorite version of the Dead Man. I don't know. I mean, he fought Kane. I want to say he fought Kane, but I can't remember what WrestleMania that was.
He fought him twice.
I know he fought him twice. So I'm saying I don't remember the second time. I don't remember the number.
20. He faced him at 14
yeah.
and 20.
WrestleMania, yep, WrestleMania 20. It was WrestleMania 20. Yeah,
The one that Mr. Jones was actually at. Fun fact.
that's right.
This guy.
Okay.
That guy.
Adam, what was your favorite version?
Probably about the same one as Gallagher, maybe a little bit later. That late 2000s, early 2010s. Where he was kind of like Teddy Long's answer to every problem.
Yeah.
Just the whole this heel's giving me a hard time. Well, now he has a match with the Undertaker. And if that didn't work, I'll put you in a tag team match. That era of SmackDown. But yeah, that 2010 late 2000s era of Undertaker is probably my favorite.
I enjoyed the sort of 97, 98 version where he was feuding with Kane, like for the first time. And there was something about the image of the black versus the red, or the red and black, which were the colors of Raw. And it just, like you had the red ropes and the black ring skirts and all that sort of thing. And it just looked like visually awesome.
That's really cool. No, that's really awesome. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's
Gallagher wants to change.
yeah.
Gallagher wants to change his answer.
No. Gallagher wants to go watch the match.
But yeah, I just thought by that time in Taker's career, like he'd already established himself as the locker room leader and like a main event star. And that feud with Kane was the perfect storyline. You know, because Kane's coming along as his brother, who is a combination of the Undertaker and Darth Vader,
Right.
and yeah, it just worked. Just love that time. Okay, last one. If you could, oh God, if you could pick one member of the Kickout crew to get tombstoned by Undertaker, who would it be, and why would it be Devin?
Why would it be Devin?
I'm not touching Allison. I'm not touching this one.
I'll touch it. I'll touch it.
All right, who?
Mr. Stanton, because he's bald.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
I'd say, all right, I'll say Mike Whitaker, because Mike Whitaker will have the most fun getting tombstoned by the Undertaker.
I feel like Bama might.
Damn it would, but I think Whitaker would be like giggling the entire time.
That's my answer too. Is Mike Whitaker.
I say it's Devin because he likes Nitro Pepsi and Nitro Pepsi sucks.
All
Well,
right.
that-
Ooh,
Is that like
Shout
an
out to
energy-
Nitro
is it
Pepsi.
like an energy? Isn't it like an energy drink?
I don't know. I never had it.
It's a different way it's brewed or whatever. You know, instead of I don't know. Devin probably would know, so you could probably ask him.
Yeah.
As I'll drink Mountain Dew Code Red and Dr. Pepper.
but Devin
And Red
Devin only really talks about it every single episode.
Well, you know what Devin needs to have is a cool, refreshing taste of a cool, refreshing drink of natural light.
Natural light.
Yeah, we can't steal too much of their stuff, okay? Because that'll create beef.
I was gonna say shout out to the Kickout crew though.
Shout out to our boys. All
shout
love
out,
and respect.
shout out to the Kickout crew. This past episode with Mr. Buff Bagwell was kick ass. Now the audio was a little rough, but if you stuck with it, you got through the interview. And it was really, really cool. So I was proud of those guys, man. Like that was really, really awesome that they got a chance to do this.
And also, Gallagher, that they took the time out to read our questions out too to Buff.
Yeah.
So really appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, no, great episode. Really great episode.
All love and support. We love you guys. You're the best. And then there's Devin.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Love
So
you,
that's
Devin.
What else you got?
all right. That's the end of the questions.
All right. Anybody change the answers?
No, that was the last week.
I never really got asked. I never really got to answer my favorite era of Taker.
Yeah, well,
don't
we're
think.
and we are going to get to it.
Okay. Oh,
So this spotlight is about the Undertaker. However, would you guys like to check in?
just tired. Feel like I went one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Jimmy, you felt like one with the Undertaker. All right. What else is going on besides moving? Just moving stuff,
Mm-hmm.
moving out,
Just- Moving out. Been here for 5 years.
moving on up.
Yeah. Moving into a trailer across town from an apartment building, so I have my own space, and
Moving on a Sunday afternoon.
moving on a Friday night. Well, it's been like 3 nights. It's been like 3 nights, so I've gotten very little sleep last couple of days. But just send your boy some love, please. I need it.
Yes, we will send a prayer. And if anybody's in the Kearney area of Nebraska, give a shout out to my man Jimmy. Give him a hand.
No one will.
All right. Adam, how you doing, man?
And I'm doing good. I'm counting down the days so the school year's over. Just the kids at this particular middle school, it feels more like being a prison guard at a detention center.
Really?
You're just getting cussed at all the time, threatened. The sub that works with me got shoved into a wall by one of the students.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just, you know, it's just it's May. Let's survive at this point.
Oh, jeez.
But other than that, man, I'm good. Don't want to bring it all down. Spring football's getting started again, so new season right around the corner, and excited to see what kind of talent we're gonna have on the field this year.
Now, do you coach varsity?
Coach varsity and JV. Defensive line for both JV head coach, JV defensive coordinator, and recruiting coordinator. So it's my job to help our kids get recruited by colleges.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
A lot of work, man.
Oh yeah.
A lot of work.
It's a ton. But it's one of those things where it's helped me grow in my confidence as a coach, especially the JV head coaching job. Because a lot of high school programs, they tend to just kind of let that be a title role where you're the JV head coach, so you get to call timeouts on JV games, but that's kind of all you do. Whereas this head coach, he kind of lets me have full autonomy over the JV program. So I get
Mr. Jefferson, I have a quick question for you.
yeah.
Have you produced any students that have gone to any D1 schools yet?
We actually just had one signed with NC State, Brandon Cisse. He wears number 25 now, I believe.
What's his position?
He's a cornerback.
Thank you.
So that was special. I got to be there when he got his scholarship offer and all that.
Cool.
So it's an exciting time. It'll be challenging because we got only 6 coaches on staff this year. So we'll all be coaching both ways as well.
It's a lot of work, man.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You get paid extra at least?
Yeah, we get a little stipend. And with as small as our staff is, we get actually a stipend and a half.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
At least it's not for not that it's not for nothing, but at least you get a little bit of something extra for doing it. Because I mean, look, I coach a little league team, and that is a huge pain in my what, and I cannot even. And that's twice a week.
Oh yeah.
2 hours, and I'm like, get me out of here. I'm done. So I can only imagine how much work that you guys do, and it's a lot, man. It's a lot, and
it absolutely is.
I'll say this: good for you, and thank you for doing that, because not a lot of people cut out for that. Not a lot of people want to do it. It takes a certain type of person to do it. So that's great that you're able to do that, man.
Oh, thank you very much. It's
those kids need you. You got those kids need you, and you're doing it for them. That's great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. How you doing, Ben?
Yeah, good. Had a good week so far. Had a session with my therapist during the week, and the timing of that, I mean, Mike, we've talked about it, but the timing of that couldn't have been better. Was really good to do that this week and get some good coping strategies with a couple of things going on. So
great.
Yeah, no, feeling pretty positive about this week.
That's great.
How are you going?
I'm doing well. Had a good week of work. Started a new job a couple of weeks ago. This is my last week of sitting in front of my computer at my house for 9 hours training. So now I get to go and start my role, which is pretty cool. But things are good. My mom's still in town helping me out with the boys, which is fantastic and super, super helpful. She's, cleaning my house out for me, which is amazing. So things are good, man. I was looking forward to doing this tonight, so I'm glad we got a chance to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So funny, great story. I started to tell Ben today, the first pay-per-view I ever watched was Survivor Series 1990. So the first memories I have of the Undertaker were the first day, essentially, I started watching wrestling. So like he was never my favorite. It was always like, you never disliked the Undertaker, And there were certain times where it's like, oh, cool, it's the Undertaker when he used to come back and stuff like that. But like, I always liked guys like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart more. Like those are the guys I would really, really get behind. And then, later on it was Austin and Kurt Angle and a lot of John Cena. And so like a guy like Taker was never my, Hulk Hogan for Ben, if you will. But I always appreciated him, right? My buddy Rob was a huge Undertaker fan. That was his big guy. Was the Undertaker. So what were your first memories of the Undertaker, Adam?
First memories of the Undertaker, probably that that late 2000s period. He didn't really talk much, didn't really cut promos, but you just learn very quickly when the lights go out and that gong hits, man. Like it's whether you're watching it on TV or unfortunately I never got to be in the crowd when he wrestled, but I mean, even watching on TV, the lights go out, that gong hits, it's something special. Like, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. A story that sounds tragic, but thankfully turned out not to be. I was going to go to the Fastlane pay-per-view in Memphis during the build between him and Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately my truck went out on me.
Oh.
So I couldn't make it. So I'm sitting at home watching it. My friend Sean and I are texting back and forth as the show's going on. And all of a sudden the lights go out and that gong hits. And Sean just starts blowing up my phone, just saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." And thank God it was Bray Wyatt in the casket and mocking the Undertaker and things like that. But like you said, it was never one of my favorites, but I still looked forward to anything he did.
Right. What about you, Ben? For earliest memories of the Undertaker?
Same as you, Survivor Series 1990. And what I remember the poster for Survivor Series 1990, and on Ted DiBiase's team, it was like shadowed out, like mystery partner or whatever. And at the time, I thought, oh, they're going to bring in Ric Flair. Ric Flair is going to be the mystery partner because he's going to go against Dusty Rhodes. All right, that's what I thought.
Oh, there you go. And
so I remember getting really excited to see the event, and I hired out the VHS tape of the pay-per-view, and I was not expecting. Like, I saw Brother Love walk out, and I was like, "Oh, okay," and then the Undertaker was right behind him, and I was like everyone in the crowd, just shocked because at that time, WWE was all about over-the-top cartoon characters and bright colors, and everything was just very visual. And then you've got this guy who looks like he's just woken up from a nap, and he's just all in black and gray.
Dude legit scared people.
Yeah, exactly. And no one had seen anything like him before. So, yeah, and then they did that close-up of his eyes. And I remember Piper said something about, like, this guy, needs to go back to bed or something.
Look at the size of that. He says, "Look at the size of that hammock."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a great Survivor Series, man. Survivor Series 1990 and SummerSlam 1990. Those are my two first pay-per-views that I watched, because I watched SummerSlam.
That was a great
Survivor Series.
I was just going to say that was a great year for pay-per-views across the board.
Yeah. WrestleMania 6 was good. Yeah. What about you, Jimmy? What were your earliest memories of the Undertaker?
He might be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm muting myself. My first memory, actually. So I remember watching him win the Rumble on DVD. And then my brother was a fan of Taker more than me. So I was rooting against him for WrestleMania 23 against Batista,
Nice.
and I lost that bet. But yeah, the only two manias I ever got my parents to order was 23 and 24, which thank God my dad and my stepmom. Thank God I got my dad to buy WrestleMania 24 because I got to see see Taker beat Edge because that was the height of my fandom, and
Nice.
just seeing all that to seeing the documentaries from watching him live to just the documentaries to everything else. It's really cool. I got to live in that era.
That's
And
awesome.
I mean that
That's awesome.
because wrestling has always been more forefront. Like I don't really give two cares about any of the sports teams. I've been a wrestling fanatic since I was 8 years old.
Yeah. That's
And first time I actually saw him was the build up to the Great American Bash 06 with the Punjabi prison match, which I thought was kind of cool
cool.
concept.
Match.
I was like hoping for Taker to beat Great Khali. Well, that didn't happen for I forgot why. And I
Wait,
don't
wasn't
care
it
to
Big
know.
Show? Wasn't it Big Show and Taker?
Originally, it was Khali.
I know it was originally supposed to be Kali, but didn't it want to be in Big Show and Undertaker?
Yes.
Yeah, that was another Undertaker Big Show match.
But just to see that and then have to be in Dallas last year for Mania 22 for his retirement. Like I never got to see him wrestle live, but live, I got to see him on my screen, and then being in Dallas at Jerry World, home of the Cowboys, Go Stars.
Go
To
Cowboys.
hear that music, ominous entrance and music live one time was incredible. And to hear it for one
Who did he fight that WrestleMania?
old age.
What was it? What was the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
last
okay,
year.
Gotcha.
I wasn't talking about the Shane McMahon one. I'm talking about the second Dallas match. Dallas WrestleMania. I'm not cool like you guys to go see Taker. Wait, and I have a question. I have a question for you, Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, sir.
What was it like seeing Shawn and Taker in the Rumble in Madison Square Garden?
It was. I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps because I love Shawn Michaels and it was Taker, and it was really the first time they had really locked up since, 97, like, Ground Zero, wherever that they fought, and then Hell in a Cell. Those two. It was the first. So it was almost 10 years since they locked up. So it was when it happened. Oh, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. I got goosebumps. I still remember it right now. And then, like, I remember watching those two. I remember where I was when I watched WrestleMania 25. Right? I was sitting at my buddy AJ's couch in West Babylon, New York, watching WrestleMania and watching the Shawn Michaels and Undertaker match. It was like one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life. I mean, which leads me into the next one. Like, we don't necessarily have to go into why we love them, but like, what are some of your favorite Taker matches? Because there's a lot, right? And maybe somebody, I don't know who would be listening to this who wouldn't know who the Undertaker is, but maybe they want some references or recommendations for some matches, right? I figure we always start with the two Hell in a Cell matches, versus Mankind and versus Shawn Michaels. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I was going to bring up those Hell in a Cell matches for sure. I like some of the mid-90s matches he had with Mankind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it was SummerSlam 96. They were in the boiler room, and the Buried Alive matches. It's not a very good match, but I have to put it over because I was there for the WrestleMania 20, because the entrance alone for that, like, I mean, I still get goosebumps now, and that was like nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Like,
awesome. That's awesome.
you know, like when you watch it on TV versus when you're in the arena, you just feel it go right through you, and you don't even have to be a wrestling fan to not be affected by that. It just sends shivers down your spine.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how he has done it like every night for 30 years. But yeah, probably the Hell in a Cell with Foley probably is number one, just because there was just so much going on in that. It's just so legendary.
Yeah, it was great. Adam, what about some of your favorite matches or some matches you'd recommend that we haven't gone over?
Definitely would recommend the end of an era match. Him and Triple H with Shawn Michaels as a special referee in a Hell in a Cell. The build to it, you know, when you break it down, is kind of funny, but the emotion and everything put into the match of these three greats, you know, being in that ring in one way or another, one final time, was awesome. Shawn having to wrestle with his friendship with Triple H versus wanting to still be a, you know, down the middle referee.
Want.
Ends up super kicking, or, you know,
Well,
giving.
So bear with me for a second, right?
Okay.
If I'm suspending disbelief, or even if I'm trying to make it make sense, right? Like if somebody super kicked me, pedigree me like 6 times on a chair, like why would I want to walk out of the ring with them with my arms around them? Right? Like these two guys are just trying to, and look, I get it, right? But like just from a character point of view, it's like it don't make any sense.
Is it the modern version of the curtain call with the click?
Yeah. And I didn't understand why he had to super kick Undertaker. Like I get that it was, I couldn't do it, so now you can do it. I'm gonna help you do it, you know, kind of. But like I didn't see the point of super kicking the Undertaker.
What I loved about that, though, is he's trying to help Triple H out because Triple H is his friend and he wants his friend to do what he couldn't do. But the second he does it, he's just overcome with like guilt, and he just sits down in the corner, just kind of, you know, head in hands, like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Wanted to be the neutral referee, but, you know, the power of friendship overpowered me.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That's a good point. Fair point.
When I say the build to that match is kind of funny, again, when you think about it, to suspend your disbelief, the whole build is Triple H saying, look, at the last WrestleMania, I beat you so bad, you had to be taken out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
No one's done that before, therefore, I'm the greatest. And then Undertaker, well, no, because I still beat you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude.
So just admit that you lost. And Triple H, no. Okay, but I still won. I pinned you. Admit that you lost. No. Well, you're not better than Shawn Michaels. And that's, you know, what goaded Triple H into getting one more match with Taker.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. It's like, yeah, I beat you, but no, you still lost, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care if you beat the crap out of me. I still beat you. Jimmy, what are some of your favorite Taker matches? Some maybe we haven't talked about yet.
Well, before I get onto that, though, we should watch that. We should do a watch along with that match alone.
Which match was that?
The end of the year, the end of an era match.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to stay on the phone with you for 35 minutes watching a wrestling match.
By you, do you mean just Jimmy, or do you mean like all of us?
No, I mean just Jimmy. I mean,
That-
just.
My feelings are not.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. Keep going.
But no, that's it. That's a. I actually have that a shirt, the shirt from that mania. I had a stepbrother. My stepbrother passed away a couple years ago. His friend went down to go see that mania, and he asked him if he could bring me back a shirt, and I have that shirt. Currently in a tote, but I have that shirt
That's cool.
with the Taker, Sean, Triple H photo. Promo photo
Okay, that's pretty
on the
cool.
on the front of the t-shirt.
That's pretty awesome.
But
That was 26 or 25.
no, 28.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
The end of an era match. What the hell am I saying?
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotcha.
But some of my favorite matches: Taker Cena, Vengeance 03, Taker Angle, No Way Out 06, Batista Taker, Edge Taker, all of Edge and Taker.
Yeah, I think
That was great. That was great. That was great. But well, a match we haven't talked about: Highway to Hell, SummerSlam '98. That's a great match.
I still haven't watched. I watched it once. I couldn't. It was tough because they both were faces, and I couldn't. That was one match where I was like, I don't get the Undertaker anymore. Like
That's the one where Austin got knocked out, didn't he?
Yeah.
During that match.
Yeah.
What players?
Yeah. Yes, I was. What I like about Jimmy and Adam's 2 cents is, and I don't mean 2 cents like disrespectfully. I mean, like, what I appreciate about you guys' opinion is that, like, my wheelhouse of the Undertaker is that, like, with Ben saying that late 90s, well, even I'll just put the whole 90s up to the early 2000s, when I don't really know dates and times of, like, after, say, 2004. And that's what I like about you guys is you have all this stuff off the top of your head, like Jimmy with the 06 Vengeance and 08 Vengeance and stuff like that. It's like, that's awesome that you guys had that recall, because that was an era that I didn't really watch. So it's cool that you guys have that recall, that we can get that information.
Oh, 3 Avengers, thank you. But I know you're paying a complimentary. I'm the asshole. I'm sorry.
You said it.
But no.
I didn't have to.
I'm not trying to be but I appreciate you guys. I mean that. This has been fun. Sorry about my hair. Like, I've been going hard.
At least you've got some.
Yeah.
Where's you have hair, Ben? It's just on your face now.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for noticing. I remember that. Yeah, you know what? Cherish it, okay? Cherish it. That's all I'll say. Remember that feel of the wind blowing through it.
Oh, I know. Come on, give me a breeze. Give me a breeze.
Another match I just remembered was SummerSlam '97 versus the Undertaker versus Brett, with Shawn Michaels as the special ref.
There.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, I was all the way up top, but I was there, man. Yeah, I was at the Brendan Byrne Arena, the Meadowlands.
Wow.
97. That was my first pay-per-view I ever attended.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a great SummerSlam. That whole SummerSlam was awesome.
That's a good one.
That was a good one to go to. Like, I remember watching, like, Brett Duck, Sean Taker with the chair. Like, I remember I was all the way up top, but like I remember seeing it and being able to watch it, and that was, yeah, it was cool, man. That was a really, really cool, cool something to go to. Mankind and Triple H in the cage, the big blue cage.
Austin and Owen.
Austin and Owen. I remember Owen Hart walking around like this, stalling for time after he broke his neck. Like I remember him just like doing this, walking around the ring and stuff like that. Like I remember him dropping Austin on his head. Like it's crazy.
Ooh.
I remember all this stuff. But yeah, that
It's
was
hard to watch even now, knowing what happened.
Yeah, it was.
But
It was
bonkers. But it was a wild, wild west.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up. That's a good memory that I have. Yeah, 97 SummerSlam.
Ben, I am cherishing it.
That's okay. What about Jimmy? I'll start with you on this one. What about your favorite version of the Undertaker? Not necessarily your favorite version of the Dead Man, the question that we answered before, but what's your favorite version of Taker in general? 30 plus years.
American Badass, because you got to hear him talk in a more realistic way.
He got a chance to be himself.
Yep, from 2000 to 2003.
Yeah.
Survivor Series 03 gets buried. Why? Because Vince has to screw everybody. Well, Kane screwed him.
Oh, James. Ben, what's your favorite version of the Undertaker?
Yeah, like I said before, probably that 97, 98 version. You know, where he started to feud with Kane for the first time. But then, yeah, like I said before as well, that 2004 comeback, even for the, several months after that was really good to see. But yeah, just overall, like, I mean, we mentioned it before, Mike, before we started recording, the amount of generations and eras that he's crossed, starting with Hogan right up to Cena and Roman. Like, it's crazy, the longevity.
It is. Adam, what's your favorite version of the Undertaker?
Same as Jimmy. American Badass.
Yeah.
Just more personality. Got to talk more. There's that phrase that the best gimmick is just that gimmick that's an extension of yourself, and that's clearly what American Badass was.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely American Badass.
Nice. My favorite version is the original Undertaker with Paul Bearer. Didn't say a word except rest in peace. Didn't sell anything.
The good thing about that version of him as well is that only in his second year he beat Hogan for the title. And at that point, like, that's when you knew that he had arrived.
Yeah.
Like, people started taking him a lot more seriously by then. And then
that first scare the shit out of you Undertaker that we saw at the Survivor Series. Woo! That was some character, man. That shit like would still get over. No selling everything, like that stuff would get over. Like that's what I was saying. We were talking about that before about how that guy would just it would work, man. It would work. So 3 kind of quick hits for each of you. During the streak. So 3 questions, 3 quick hits. Your favorite match during the streak, your least favorite match during the streak, and what is one match you wish you would have seen at WrestleMania, or who is one person you would have liked to Undertaker to wrestle at WrestleMania? Adam, let me start with you.
All right, favorite streak match. End of an era.
Okay.
Least favorite streak match is next.
Yeah, least favorite match. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a streak match. Just a WrestleMania Undertaker match in general.
Okay, well, Giant Gonzalez.
Okay. And who's the guy that you would have liked to see him wrestle at WrestleMania?
Oh, can it? Doesn't matter.
It could be anybody.
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Oh, nice. Interesting one.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's out of the box. What about you, Ben? What's your favorite match, least favorite match, and who do you like to see in the Undertaker wrestle at WrestleMania?
Favorite match, I'm going to say the Triple H at WrestleMania 17. I thought that was a good Undertaker WrestleMania match because Triple H was so hot at that time as well.
Yeah, it was.
Least favorite. Oh, I'm just looking up the matches here. You know what? I'm going to have to go that god awful match against the Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15
That was pretty
Oh,
bad.
they almost killed him.
when they tried to do the hanging thing. Oh,
Yeah.
that was horrible. Now, are we talking dream matches?
Dream matches.
If he was still healthy, I would have liked to have seen Taker and Andre.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Hey Jimmy, what's your favorite WrestleMania Undertaker match, your least favorite Undertaker WrestleMania match, and your dream Undertaker match?
Favorite. End of an era.
Okay.
Copycat.
You got some good company there.
Least favorite. WrestleMania 30. Against Brock Lesnar.
Okay. Fair. And
Dream match.
Yep, dream match.
Dream opponent. Well, they faced each other, but they never faced each other at Mania.
So that
I
counts.
would like to see him and Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. I like that one too.
I feel like that would have been great, but Randy got boo-boo faced.
That's awesome. So, because I love this game and I love these questions, my favorite match has got to be WrestleMania 25 against Shawn Michaels. I mean, that is one of the best wrestling matches of all time.
Totally.
Hands down. My least favorite match is probably him versus King Kong Bundy, because I'll tell you, Adam, I kind of liked Giant Gonzalez, and I kind of at 9 years old thought he was like an actual threat. So like at the time, right? So like a lot of this stuff I don't really find as bad, because I look back and at the time how I reacted, and at the time I was down with WrestleMania 9 and Giant Gonzalez versus Undertaker. I thought it was like the greatest thing, because you got this monster versus the Taker. But like I remember hating King Kong Bundy when I was watching King Kong Bundy and the Undertaker. And my dream match is him versus Sting. Easily, it's got to be him versus Sting. That is something I felt like they really blew. Instead of doing Triple H and him, it should have been Taker and Sting that year.
Yeah. It definitely should have.
It was such a missed opportunity, man. Oh, drives me crazy. But anyway, anybody got any final thoughts on the Undertaker?
Yeah.
I was just going to say I'm like the respect level, because he, like during the Monday Night Wars, he didn't even blink an eye at going to WCW. He was loyal to Vince and company man, number one company man.
Yeah.
I have a question for the
Sure.
group. So the three of you have children, okay? What is their thoughts on the Undertaker? Have they
Well,
ever expressed to you?
My son is 3 and my daughter is 5 months old. So there's not many thoughts about the Undertaker right now going through their minds.
Well, my son Michael's favorite wrestler is the Undertaker and Kane. So Michael loves the Undertaker very, very much.
My two have seen the Undertaker, and when I've told them that he's the dead man, he said, or they both said, well, why is he walking if he's dead? So I was like, okay.
Adam, what were your final thoughts you wanted to add?
Similar to Ben, just the consummate professional locker room leader he was. One of my favorite stories about him is from Cody Rhodes. at the it was Cody's. I'm not sure if y'all have seen Cody talk about this, but it was Cody's first Royal Rumble, and he slides in the ring and he sees Taker and just thinks, I'm going to go for it. And he runs, and Taker's back is to him, and he just hits Taker in the back as hard as he can. And Taker turns around and grabs him and says, kick me in the gut. And he kind of let Cody shine in his first Royal Rumble match against him, when he could have easily just turned around and like
whack him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Which Rumble was that? I'm gonna
the one you were at, Michael Gallagher.
Yeah.
And in 2008 in Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Yes,
Coach
sir.
That Rumble in 2008.
Yeah, he debuted in 07.
No kidding. Huh.
He debuted
How
on the
much
main
I
roster.
remember, right? I was there.
You were just you were just there. You weren't a fan.
Well, I don't remember him being around that long ago. But yeah, I mean, if you say so, you're the historian here, so I trust your I trust you on that one, and I'm gonna pull it up. I got two things I gotta watch. I got the Rumble 08, and then I got the match against what's his face? The match against Kane on Raw during that era, the red and black.
And then the person.
I just sent y'all the YouTube video of Cody talking about that moment.
Oh, sweet, thanks.
I've seen that. I've seen that too, and that's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got with the Undertaker, boys. So, Adam, you got some facts of this week in pro wrestling for us?
Yes, I do. Big week in history of pro wrestling. April 30th, 1977, superstar Billy Graham defeats Bruno Sammartino to win the WWF Championship and ends Sammartino's second and final reign as champion. Backlash 2006, April 30th, 2006, was the infamous Vince and Shane McMahon versus Shawn Michaels and God match.
Who can you beat? You can't beat God.
Anybody hear Road Dogg's live Q&A with everybody? And Jimmy, you were on that one. Did you guys listen to that?
No, I didn't hear it.
Not yet. Fucking Dave McClay. He asked Dave Road Dogg something like, what the heck did he ask him, Jimmy? Something like about like, who's the best tag team partner Shawn Michaels ever had? Was it like you or God or something like that? And Road Dogg's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, Dave McClay.
May 1st, 2000, Edge and Christian stopped running through the crowd, and so the second 5-second pose was born.
Oh yeah.
May 2nd, 2000, WCW Thunder sees Ric Flair win a 41-man battle royal to become the new number one contender for the WCW Championship. This is actually also the last time Macho Man Randy Savage appears in a WCW ring.
Oh wow.
What state again?
I didn't have a state.
No date. No date.
Sorry, May 2nd, 2000, episode of Thunder.
Is the last time we ever see Macho Man.
At least in a WCW ring, yeah.
Well, I mean, he only appeared on television one other time for wrestling, and that was in 2004. So this is like the second to last time we ever see Macho Man in a squared circle. In the squared circle.
That's a good point. Third to last if you count the Spider-Man movie.
Good point. Dig it.
All right, this was a big one. May 4th, 2002, WWF Insurrection is the last pay-per-view with the WWF name. Next day, May 5th, 2002, WWF officially becomes WWE, and the infamous plane ride from hell occurs.
So 21 years ago, today as a recording, is the birth of WWE.
Yes.
Fuck you, Panda.
What a PR nightmare that had to be.
Blame the Panda. We'll blame the Panda.
Blame the pants.
changing the
I honestly
The
didn't think
wo-
the WWE name would catch on.
Nah, me neither. But it just became muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because of because World Wildlife, the global World Wildlife Fund had a huge bitch fit.
We all know, Jimmy. We don't have to go into it right now. What else you
Oh
got?
yeah, sorry. Sorry,
May
Alex.
6th, May 6th, 1986, Kerry Von Erich defeats Ric Flair to win his only NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Fun fact: I think the Pond Wonder Dave show is going to be recording something on that.
Yeah, I think they just put out an episode about it, if I remember right.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah, huge Von Erich fan.
As far as birthdays go, we had a lot. Pat McAfee was born on May 2nd, 1987. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, May 2nd, 1972. Big Boss Man, May 2nd, 1961. Stu Hart, May 3rd, 1915. Bill Watts, May 5th, 1939. Do what, Jimmy?
Nothing. Sorry, sorry.
Dakota Kai, May 6th, 1988. Kevin Owens, May 6th, 1984. Tonga Loa, May 6th, 1983. Colt Cabana, May 6th, 1980. And Brian Knobs, May 6th, 1964.
I like Colt Cabana. What do you guys think of Colt Cabana?
I think he's a good guy.
I haven't seen much of him.
I met him once. It was cool.
Yeah, I met him once too. It was very cool. But I like his wrestling too. Him and Punk had some good matches. Him and Joe had some good matches.
Well, us speaking positively about Colt Cabana assures that CM Punk will never be a guest on this show.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah.
And I am more than okay with that.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. And not that CM Punk even will ever know our names, but yes. But no, Colt Cabana. I have a signed. Actually, I got a signed Colt Cabana. I'm looking over there because I'm going to grab it for you guys. I hope I can grab it in time. There we go. I got a Colt Cabana Rama, and I signed by Mr. Colt Cabana. I saw him at a high school gym, and yeah, it was pretty cool. High school gym in Long Island, New York. It was Colt Cabana versus Carlito. It was pretty cool.
I'm actually glad we brought up Colt Cabana because I've been meaning to check out. He had I think it was a best of 7 series for the NWA Championship against Adam Pearce.
Yep.
Mr. Gallagher, can you show that again? I had my phone away.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then nice and yep.
That's cool.
Colt Cabana Rama. Yeah, it was cool. And he signed that, got a chance to talk to him. But yeah, that best of 7 series versus Adam Pearce was very good.
I need to find that.
Yeah, it's definitely good because he actually he could wrestle. Like Duke could wrestle. Like he definitely had his like I would compare him to kind of like a Santino Marella kind of wrestler. If you Ben, if you're trying to kind of give him like a comparison. But
he's great, but he's also great serious.
Yeah, exactly. He can wrestle, and that match was good and showed he could. And I think he won the title, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he wound up winning it.
Yeah, because I think Adam was defending it.
Yeah, but no, those matches were good. And his podcast was excellent too.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh no, that's it. That's it for
All
our
right.
little history lesson.
Well, one more. Ben, do you want to do the honorable mention or birthdays?
Oh yes, honorable mentions.
Yeah, shout out to Eddie Prather for the big 50th birthday. So hoping we're recording on your birthday, so hopefully you have a good day.
Happy birthday, Cranky Pants.
Remember, Eddie. You remember, Eddie. You're getting a gummy at Top Guy Weekend.
Jimmy, you have anything from the heart?
Oh yeah, happy birthday, buddy, and I mean that sincerely.
All right.
I was just joking, but yeah. Enjoy your day.
From the heart with Jimmy, wishing Eddie Prather a happy birthday. That's a huge thing. So those who know, you know. So happy birthday, Eddie. So the new Mike's Music Corner. I listened to, so Devin Dowling popped a couple of bands in our chat, and each one of them I actually heard of. So he sent me a message on Twitter. He's like, dude, you heard them all. I was trying to stump you. I'm like, just give me a song. I'll cover it for you. So next time, Devin, send me a song and I'll cover it for you. Because I love checking everything out. But the song that I listened to was called Lovesick by Eddie Smith and the 507. And it was on a playlist on Spotify that I was listening to. And it came on. And
you okay there, Jimmy? Oh, now he mutes.
no,
I was.
I muted him. Now he was off mute. Are you right there, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I was making sure I didn't get I was making sure I didn't get struck by lightning.
I'm sorry. Now we heard
You
you
do that.
indigestion.
You do that by burping, do you?
No, I haven't eaten since 4 o'clock. It is now midnight. Sorry. I thought I was trying to mute myself and then spaced off and trying to listen and things went bye-bye.
Jimmy, stop and laugh at yourself for 5 minutes, okay? You're fine. We're messing around with you.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm on the downhill stretch is the thing.
I know you are. I know you are. We're almost there. We're almost there, right? Keep up. Keep up. You're almost there.
Oh yeah.
All right. So getting back to the song called Love Sick by Eddie Smith and the 507 is the name of the band. And I really enjoyed it. It's a ballad. It's obviously a love song. But Eddie Smith's voice is very gravelly, it's very deep, and it's very passionate. So it was, I don't want to call it kind of country, but it sounded a little country, a little Chris Stapleton-ish. And I encourage everybody to take a peek at it and take a listen, because it's a really good song, and it's on my playlist. And I actually will listen to a song and then we'll go to that radio station of that song on Spotify, and that's how I discover new music. So now I can discover some new music because of it. So hopefully you guys can as well. And that's my segment for the night. So next we got Jonesy's jokes. Take it away.
All right. So today I thought we would go with the Rodney Dangerfield edition. Are you guys familiar with him?
Oh, I love Rodney.
He's the best. He was the best. Okay,
He's
so
great.
we got 5 of his best one-liners. All right. I remember the time I was kidnapped and they sent back a piece of my finger to my father. He said he wanted more proof.
I mean, we're gonna crack up the entire time. Come on, it's Rodney.
It's quite harsh. It's tough to stay married. My wife kisses the dog on the lips, yet she won't drink from my glass. Yeah. I had a lot of pimples too. One day I fell asleep in a library. I woke up and a blind man was reading my face. My psychiatrist told me I'm going crazy. I told him, if you don't mind, I'd like to get a second opinion. He said, all right, you're ugly too.
Yep. My grandfather used to say that one to me all the time.
All right, last one. I could tell that my parents hated me. My bath toys were a toaster and a radio.
He was great. Did you see Back to School with him in it?
Yeah, that was a great movie.
It was a fantastic.
And with Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
In his first role. Yeah.
Yep. That was crazy. Adam, have you seen that movie Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh yeah. See Back to School, Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Come on, yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh.
So let's dance. Movie's great. Call me when you have no class. Great. Oh man, Jimmy, you ever see Back to School? That movie?
He muted himself.
I think he muted himself. Anyway.
Yeah.
Jonesy, you got any more?
No, just I thought I'd just try a few of his jokes this week, something different. But yeah, it's
sorry,
good
guys,
to. I tell you what, if you go back and watch some of his appearances on the Johnny Carson show, they are tremendous.
But no, to be
Him and Don Rickles. Him and Don Rickles.
Yeah.
I know who I'm more familiar with Don Rickles
Than Rodney.
than Rodney, but I know who Rodney is. But to answer your question, no, I don't. I don't believe I've seen any of those movies. I'm gonna probably send your hate tweets at
No
Mike
hate tweets.
Gurr,
No.
Mike Gurr, whatever the heck his Twitter handle is.
0905. Which leads us into our wrap up for this week. Our next topic will be Vinnie Mac. So send your tweets send your questions on over for it. Hopefully we'll be able to record within the next week or two. We might be delayed just because of some exterior issues going on. But Ben, where can we find you?
At AFS Ben Jones and on Twitter, and also at Zipcode Bros on Twitter.
All right. Mr. Jefferson, where can we find you?
At the ARJ brand for the personal stuff, at Coach A Jefferson for the football stuff. And you can find my solo podcast, Just One Man's Thoughts, on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music. I've got to double check, see if I'm on Spotify, and you can find that on Twitter at Just Thoughts Pod.
Nice. And you can find me on the Twitter at Mike Gurr 0905, and I'm also at Facebook, Michael Gallagher. You can find me through the AFS website. The AFS the group page. But last but certainly not least, my man, I want to thank you for coming and recording our podcast tonight. You are going through a lot in your life, so we appreciate your time. Mr. Sorensen, where can we find you? And get your handsome face on that phone.
Here, okay. At OG James @3 on the Twitter. Jamie Sorensen 97 on the Insta, and then James Sorensen on the Facebook. On the Facebook. And Snapchat, should do a Snapchat for the zip code bros. Oh, anywho, just thank you all that are listening, watching. It means the world to the four of us that you give us a chance and actually listen to us. It means a lot, and thank you.
Yeah, well said, Jimmy.
I couldn't, and I don't think we can end that any better than that, guys.
All right. Thanks
All right.
everyone for tuning in.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That's it.